Greetings, I am happy as fuck, and why am I, you ask? Well, I'm gonna answer these damn questions you sent me, so buckle up because I'm going to answer every single question regardless of how many people sent multiple ones. Well, the questions that I've seen at least, so if yours isn't here, it simply means I'm incompetent. Okay, so let's just jump straight into my first Q&A session, shall we? And excuse me if I'm a bit hyper today. I've literally slept like 8 hours, that's like at least 3 hours more than my average. Okay, so the first question is actually not from this video, but I thought I'd include it anyway, and that is where my name comes from. That is the name Perm, and my name actually comes from way back when I was playing World of Warcraft, and I was making a new character, and the original name that I had, I won't go into what that name was, but it got flagged for a certain reason, so I had to rename my character, and I kind of renamed it Perma Strength, and my friends thought it was too long, so they just started calling me like Perm or Perma, and then eventually it evolved into Perm. So that's kind of where it comes from, and it's just sort of stuck with me since then. Okay, the next question is from E.n.d. I hope that's correctly pronounced, and he or she asks, I just thought about something. If Natsu destroyed the dragon seed and still has Dragon Slayer magic, does this mean he could have E.n.d. magic too, but he would be in control? Excellent question. I love this question because I want to know the answer as well, and I do think E.n.d. is still relevant. I'm pretty confident that the seed only represented E.n.d. wanting to take over by force, so E.n.d. may only be accessible right now by the Book of E.n.d, or as a comment I actually saw recently, which was that the Spriggans may serve a similar purpose as the Orasian Says did to Zero. In other words, if all Spriggans go down, E.n.d. will awaken. But I'll put my money on the idea that the Book of E.n.d. is the only thing that may trigger E.n.d. at this point. Okay, so Shadow Ninja asks 3 questions actually, so I'll answer every single one of them. Firstly, do you think Natsu will be able to transform into a dragon or a demon? To this I say I don't think he can transform into a dragon, but maybe. That depends on if the antibodies were made in the seed or not. But I do think he can turn into a demon as long as the Book of E.n.d. triggers the transformation. Secondly, do you think Eileen is dead or just unconscious? Well, I think she's dead. Now the only reason I say that is that the Universe 1 was dispelled, and seeing as she didn't need to focus to keep it going, it's possible that it was linked to her life rather than her magic power. At least that's my theory right now. Lastly, what do you think August, Gildarts or Acnologia could do if one of them appears in the next chapter? Well, I did make a prediction on this, but just in case someone hasn't watched it, I think Gildarts and August may throw down in the next chapter, or that Acnologia will appear, but I don't think Acnologia would be fighting anyone already in 521. It feels a bit sudden and too soon to me. Another double here by Princess Diana Gaming, and she asks, well, I assume it's a she. Perm, who and what do you ship? Well, I ship Gruvia very much, Gale as well, even though that's more or less confirmed. I approve of Nalu, but I don't really like Lucy, so I don't. Yeah, you can probably see where I'm going with that. Ursa is another ship that I'm fine with, but I don't ship Zervis. Like, I know a lot of people are, but I just feel as though they were a thing 100 years back. They're like mortal enemies right now, and Zerif did try to kill Mavis while Eileen was like extracting fairy heart, so if Mavis is still cool with, you know, Seraph, then I'll be shocked as fuck, okay? Okay, second question is, Perm, if you were a fairy tale wizard or just a wizard, what will your magic be? Well, call me a broken record, but I'd totally be a dragon slayer. I mean, that shit's crazy, right? Any slayer type magic would kinda do, but in all honesty, it feels like the dragon slayer magic is the superior one in the way that, you know, it was the first introduced. First we had God Slayer, and then we had Devil Slayer later on. I mean, either of those would be fine, but I think I'd go with kind of Dragon Slayer just because it's more popular, and yeah, you know what I mean. As for the element of the Dragon Slayer I would want to be, I'd probably want to be a Nightmare Dragon Slayer, simply because when you think about it, there have been some crazy elements introduced in the series, and I wouldn't be surprised if Nightmare is like an element that could exist in fairy tales. So yeah, I'd kind of want to be that or fire, but I think fire is a bit too mainstream, so that's why I would want to be a Nightmare Dragon Slayer. Miles 126 asks, Perm, will Natsu and Lucy have a plan on how to defeat Zeref, but will Ursa help Natsu? Well, seeing as Mavis saw something during the Jacob fight when Natsu and Lucy fought together, I do think they will kinda come up with something, but I don't think Ursa will do much else in this arc in all honesty, because she's too weak and broken at this point after the Eileen fight. I mean, I know she's Ursa, but come on guys, she's done enough in this arc. Cole Newton asks, what anime or manga is your favorite series And also, in your opinion, which fairy tale character has the best development? So a double question, but my favorite ongoing series right now is still Fairy Tail. I am currently catching up on One Piece, but at this point it hasn't beaten Fairy Tail, but I'm only on about chapter 200, so it's too early to tell if it's to be above Fairy Tail in the future. But if we talk finished series, original Dragon Ball probably still beats Fairy Tail, but not Dragon Ball Z, GT or Super. Super of course still being ongoing, but yeah, but there are a lot of shows I like I love No Game No Life, ReZero, and One Punch Man is a manga that I'm currently following actually, so that's really nice as well. Okay, so what character in Fairy Tail has the best development for me? Well, not Natsu, I'll tell you that much. Jalal, possibly. I mean, people may disagree with me here, but Jalal has developed a lot since the series begun, but Lucy's development is kinda good too. I mean, she's mostly developed in what she's capable in terms of battle capabilities, but I don't see her on the same level as Jalal when it comes to her character. Rachel Liza Lane asks, I have 2 questions for your Q&A. Who do you want to fight Acnologia and what's your current favorite arc in Fairy Tail? Well, I hope all Dragon Slayers will come together to fight Acnologia. It's what I've always wanted ever since we found out that was the real purpose they were sent to the future to begin with. So yeah, I don't want a 1 versus 1 with Natsu. It's fine if Natsu is the last one standing against him though, since he's the strongest Dragon Slayer at this time. Not counting Loxus, but he might have surpassed Loxus, I've no idea. My current arc though, that's gotta still be Tower of Heaven or Edless, I think. I liked the arcs a lot. The Loxus arc was also great, to be honest, and the GMG arc of course, but I think Tower of Heaven and Edless takes the top for me. Question from Jessica 724, and she asks, who is your favorite character? Now this is an easy one, yet a hard one. Natsu is my favorite character in the series, but if I had to exclude him for obvious reasons, I'd have to say maybe Jalal or Grey. I would pick Brandish or Eileen, but the problem with these characters is that I don't think that one arc's screen time is enough to put them as an all-time favorite character. It just wouldn't be fair against the characters that's been with us since way back. Miles 126 asks again, apparently didn't put these together for some reason. Anyway, he asks, will Natsu eventually turn into a demon? Also, what will he do to face off with Seraph? Well, I think he might turn into a demon, but like it would take something pretty spectacular for his transformation to take root again. Like even the book needs a huge amount of magic power to break its seal, and the only magic that I can think of at this point that can do that is Fairy Heart, so unless he gets that, probably not. But when it comes to facing off with Seraph, I'm sure they'll come up with some crazy plan that'll work, but I have no idea what that would be. I'm one of those people who kinda think that Seraph will actually live. No Lara asks, how do you see Natsu and Lucy saying I love you to each other, and do you see Natsu becoming a half demon and dragon? I kinda answered the Nalu bit in my Nalu video, but I think if anyone's gonna say, it'll be Lucy. I just don't see Natsu doing it no matter how he feels about her. And if Natsu becomes a hybrid, I mean, that'd be cool, but with the 520 seed situation, I just don't think it will happen. Sadly, but yeah, I would have loved to see that. Predator 5 Rules asks, Perm, do you think that Natsu will eventually be able to combine the Dragon and Demon Seed now that they've been destroyed and gain a mode called Aetherius Fire Dragon mode? Well, I kinda did this for my very first video on this channel, except we had no idea about the seeds back then. But yeah, I mean, it's possible, but me personally, now that we've seen what happened to the seeds, I don't think he will in all honesty, but it's definitely possible, I would say. The name of that mode would be really good though, I like that name a lot. Okay, this name, I'm really sorry if I do not say it correctly, because damn, this was a mouthful. Thrivarmanadnaidu asks, do you think Acnologia is a demon, dragon, and Natsu, when both of his seeds take over, will he become a demon dragon slayer? Okay, so I think this could be crazy, right? Because obviously if Natsu has demonic elements, it's very possible that he can use that power. But unfortunately, I'm a believer that only the book can reach his demonic powers right now, so I'm gonna say I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. But if it does happen that the demon nature of Natsu is unleashed, this would be absolutely mad, and I mean the good kind of mad. As for Acnologia, yes, I think it's very possible because his element is unknown, and they did say Acnologia began to slay new types of dragons, and that new type could be demon dragons created maybe by Zeref while trying to create demons. Okay, the last fucking question is from none other than RGA Enchanter. And he actually asked me on Twitter, what are your top 5 strongest characters? So obviously you're talking about a whole series and not just a guild. So I'm gonna say from weakest to strongest at this point in the manga. Natsu or Lux is shared 5th because I don't know who is stronger right now. I'm kinda leaning towards Natsu, to be honest. And then I think Gildard's followed by August, Zeref and Acnologia on top, of course. But if Natsu does somehow trigger E.n.d, I think Natsu will definitely easily be number 2 after Acnologia, but I don't think he's gonna be above Acnologia. It feels as if Acnologia is too hyped at this point to be surpassed by E.n.d in a one-on-one fight. Well guys, those are all the questions that I've got. I hope I didn't miss anyone, and if I did, feel free to flip your shit on me. But yeah, I hope you got all the answers that you wanted, and of course, as always, leave a comment down below, and if you did, please like this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new to my channel. See you soon.